Good morning and welcome. It's another start to your beautiful week here on Wake Up Nigeria. Inspiration, they say, comes in different ways, and we try as much as we can to inspire your day and help you start your week rightly.
Yes, so the show is Wake Up Nigeria. We are licensed to thrill. We have top-notch TV content coming your way, specially curated just for you.
Yes, indeed. After such a glorious weekend, I feel rejuvenated and ready to go. I don't know about you, but it was fantastic.
I'm gingered.
Enjoyed it.
Feels like it's starting the right way, you know. Some splashes of drizzle here and there, but there's also a splash of sunshine coming your way this Monday as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, as always, we hope to help you guys kickstart your day, your week, by sprinkling just the right amount of family entertainment for you guys.
Brand new week, brand new chapter, brand new opportunity for you to take control of your own narrative. There's loads to look forward to. My name is Titilayo.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. You guys want to remember that you can see and use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all the social media platforms that are available, including Threads, to be a part of this big breakfast show here on Nigerian television.
You can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. Our mobile app is one to have. And you can always download that from Google Play or iOS.
Oh, did we miss out on something? Is it just the two of us on the show? I doubt so, because we have inside of the kitchen, she's all grown and you can kiss her in your backyard.
Really?
It's Auntie Mary.
Wow.
Mazino, I catch the sub. It's all right. Good morning. It's so good to be here. Lovely Monday morning. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
We're good. We're going to find out how your weekend went in just
Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to tell you all about it.
Well, indeed. Hey, well, guys, you can also watch us live at GOTV channel 16, which you probably are doing. And if you can't do that, catch us in UHF band 49.
Yeah. And of course, as long as you're following us on social media, you will not miss a thing at TVC Connect. Now, for the lineup for today, we have quite a bit coming your way. And when it comes to music, we make sure that we bring in those really great up-and-comings for you.
Let me tell you who we're going to be having. Iroro Michael Leon, fondly known as Hero Leon by his admirers. He's a, rap artist who has honed his skills in sound, which has afforded him sharp intuition and understanding of what the industry demands.
Gabriel is a dedicated advocate for transforming learning and development into strategic business drivers, leveraging on a powerful combination of strategy, technology, people, and content. He's going to be here talking about building teams for high performance.
Comfort Esuma. She's the CEO and founder of Excel Jewelry, a successful jewelry entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in fashion. She will be sharing with us all of her defining moments as a business owner.
Ooh, those earrings look nice.
Yeah, they look really nice. And talking about earrings and weekends, my weekend, of course, was spent on radio. However, for some weird reason, so on Saturday, I wasn't feeling well at all. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. But you know what made me get out? Thought of my ratings.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I miss my show that one day, what's going to happen to it? So then I got to the office and I literally struggled through my show. But surprisingly, I had a good time.
Interesting.
Something about doing what you love.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a chore. It just seems like it's so seamless. And at the end of it all, it gave me one revigorization that I cannot even explain. And ever since then, I've just been feeling better, even up until yesterday.
Oh, you're one of the lucky few who actually enjoy what to do in Nigeria.
I
People
do.
actually just do what they have to do so that they can make an end of a living and provide for their families. Talking about providing for their families, how much have you guys heard about the actors' strike in Hollywood?
Oh, yeah.
Still going on, isn't it?
It is.
You think it's for a good cause, though?
Well, they are trying to defend their rights, I guess,
Multiple rights.
eventually. I was hearing something about AI being used to audition actors.
Let me explain what it is, yeah? So, for instance, if you are a waka pass, you know, just an extra in any set, for that one time you get paid. They take your likeness, AI takes it, and you know what AI can do now? Simply use your face and just, you can use your face or likeness anywhere, anytime. Now, for those multiple times when it's going to use them, you would not get paid for it. You only get one-time payment. And they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's my face.
It's my likeness.
So they're fighting for, one of the things they're fighting for is for the disuse of that particular ability.
So this is the first time since 1960, I believe, that a strike has been this effective in shutting down Hollywood. The writers are on strike as well. They've had multiple strikes over the years, but none as effective as this because the Actors Guild also joined them. So the whole of SAG now, the Screen Actors Guild Association, everything is just on pause. Now, there were some shows that were actually given a waiver, funny enough, on this, but still, then again, I feel like they are fighting for their rights and their future.
Personally, I wonder when and if this would ever happen in Nigeria.
Ooh.
Because, I'm not shooting any bullets, I'm shooting it straight. It's
no,
not
you're
straight.
wondering if Nigerian
The reality
actors
is, in the Nigerian industry, a model will be paid ridiculously. And then you sign a contract saying, oh, we're going to use this for a year. And then 6 years later, the same video is still in use or audio, as the case may be. And then we still have the issue of you being requested to come and do edits. Oh, my goodness.
Funny how you're telling my story because that's exactly how it obtains in the voiceover world. As well.
Voiceover.
It's the same. The edits is even more common in the voiceover.
Exactly.
You'll be told, and they said you should come and amend something.
Exactly. So
and
you
you're
can use
supposed to be paid for the amendment.
This is it. In the normal one, it's going to say 2021. And then sorry, Mr. Mazino, we just want a small edit. Can you say 2023 now?
Wow, really?
Ogbeni, pay me my money.
Sorry. So I still have an ad that's still showing in some parts of Nigeria that I was paid for 1 year for. And you don't want to know the peanuts I was paid.
What year was it?
2021.
2021. Me and I was about to say that. Myself and Olamide, we did an ad. Back in 2020.
Wow.
It's still running.
Wow.
TV ad, 3 years now, and we signed a contract. I want to go.
No brand names. Don't tell who it is.
Of course not.
In any case, maybe it's your story as well. Well, tell us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And you are welcome. Let's do the news for a Monday morning. We start outside of Nigeria in Kenya, where leaders of the Africa Union have ended their 5th mid-year coordination meeting that focused on accelerating the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. They all agree that there is need for a renewed commitment to meeting developmental goals and strengthening democratic governance. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu represented ECOWAS and called for the continent to unite against external forces seeking to plunder Africa. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akande reports.
Leaders of the African Union arriving for the 5th mid-year coordination meeting with heads of regional economic communities, regional mechanisms and the AU member states. The theme is the acceleration of the African Continental Free Trade Area implementation. With this, Africa seems on the path to catch up with the global pace of development and also demand for fairness and equality in the world order. Nigeria's president is attending in his capacity as the chairman of ECOWAS, and in his own status brief, he called on leaders of Africa and its people to resist any attempt by imperialistic interests to scramble for Africa.
The challenges we face mean that governance will be difficult. They also mean that visionary good governance is necessary. Some observers assert a new scramble for Africa is afoot, and it is much like the old scramble that plundered our country. But here and now, let it be said to whoever the new scramblers might be, our continent may be old, but our spirit is new. And it is true. The bad that took place in the past must not stay here. It shall never be repeated.
The president of Kenya, William Ruto, reiterated calls for a financing system that is fair to all, as opposed to one that is equal to some countries and unfair to others.
Today, we have a debt stock of $640 billion as Africans, paying close to $70 billion every year. If we had a fair financial architecture that treats everybody fairly and that does not profile Africa as risky, we would be paying less than half what we are paying today in debt repayments.
This fifth media coordination meeting is to compare notes and get progress report on the journey to an integrated, prosperous and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the global arena. A complete implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area could be a homegrown solution to problems and challenges that have slowed down growth and development on the continent for decades. But Nigeria's president, who is also the chairman of ECOWAS, may be the man to look out for, as he appears to bring on a new sense of political will and a desire to push the continent closer towards achieving its goals of eradicating poverty, silencing the guns, and strengthening democracy. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Nairobi, Kenya.
Now, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 19-year-old man for attempting to traffic 7.2 kilograms of methamphetamine concealed in crayfish at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Also, operatives of the Tinkan Port Command of the agency intercepted 116.5 kilograms consignment of Colorado concealed in bags hidden in a container of used vehicles imported from Toronto, Canada. NDLEA operatives also arrested a lawyer who specializes in production and distribution of a mixture of cannabis, opioids, and black currant in Awka, Anambra State, following an earlier seizure of 5-kilogram cannabis and 12 bottles of prepared squishies in her apartment at Lekki. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been discharged after an overnight hospital stay for checkups and monitoring following a dizzy spell. Mr. Netanyahu, who is 73, was rushed to Sheba Medical Center on Saturday after feeling mild dizziness. His office said he had left the hospital about midday on Sunday after stating earlier that his test results were normal and that he was feeling very good. According to Dr. Amit Segev, Sheba's Health of Cardiology, Mr. Netanyahu had completed a series of tests and is in excellent condition. His office said doctors ordered him to remain in the hospital overnight for further observation. Israel's weekly cabinet meeting, usually held on Sundays, has been postponed to today. And that's all we can do for news this moment. We've got sports in our other bulletins. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. You know what? I think I need a spin bike in my life. Yeah, I want to just be able to do it at home. But that is the clear definition of what life is. You're pedaling so hard and you're not going anywhere.
Well, maybe for you.
Dark, I'm sorry.
No.
In any case.
My heart is pumping just watching that video. 'Cause spinning is a lot of work.
Yours and mine.
All I can think of is the glow on the lady. My goodness.
Oh, you mean the lady? That's our Halima.
Yeah.
She's the producer
Halima,
here,
the one that don't like Halima.
Ladies, let's get to the topic for today for What's Up and About. So over the weekend, just yesterday, I was actually at this very interesting Igbo masquerade festival that happened in Festac. It was very nice to see a dose of culture like I've never seen before, and all the masquerades and everything. I loved it. Was invited by a friend, and all those drinks and plenty to eat. But one thing that caught my attention was this. You know, when there's this atmosphere and then people with arms start shooting into the air. At first I was shocked, and then I'm like, okay, this is a cultural thing, I guess, because there was plenty of gunshots into the air, and it got me thinking about gravity and where those bullets are going to land. And we had an instance from Friday. I don't know if you ladies heard about it. Did you hear about the little boy who passed?
Stray bullets.
Yeah. Apparently, it was an NDLEA raid. Am I correct? Yes, an NDLEA raid, and they had shot maybe into the air or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. The details are sparse. But it caught the little boy and I think his sibling. Both of them were taken to the hospital, but the little boy passed, and he was only 2 years old. Very sad. His father, his family, they're all distraught and everything. And I'm wondering, there must be a law against this. I was also in an instance where, while trying to purchase something very early in the morning as I was coming to work, there was a small raid by police, and this was a year and a half ago. And I would not be here today, actually, because I felt that thing whiz past me. It was a flash of light, and then boom, and then I could feel the air pulsate just by me. And I'm like, why, wait, how? Training, a lot of questions. It's just a sad situation, really, about the kid.
When it comes to the issue of law enforcement having...
firearms.
Well, not just firearms, having the discipline to actually use these with all the ethics involved. I know that they are taught all these ethics. I know that all bullets are counted and accounted for. They're supposed to be. And even all over the world, you know, you have to explain the reason why you fired that firearm in detail. That's why in all these movies you say, oh, the paperwork. The paperwork is actually real documentation as to why this bullet was used, where it landed, did it hit a wall, did it hit a window, or did it hit a person?
It's target.
You know, I just feel like there's something that needs to be done about that, and making sure that people are held accountable for every single action, not just because you're wearing a uniform and you have access to these weapons, you just use them haphazardly. But I'm going to go all spiritual now. There's a prayer my mom used to pray. She's like, we will not miss stray bullets all the way. And when she used to say it, like about 5-10 years ago, I used to sort of like have a little giggle, like, where is stray bullet going to come from? But, you know, the fact that it actually has happened to some family
always.
now just puts that little strike of fear into somebody.
So, you know, this has actually happened to several people. I remember there was this particular year that it seemed like almost every other week
there was a story,
stray bullet story, where somebody could be in their room and then the bullet wedges into the wall and then they're spared by. You remember that particular one, the guy that was at his desk?
Yeah.
And I find it worrisome that in 2023, we're still talking about stray bullets. Unfortunately, stray bullets is not a Nigerian thing as we think, especially regarding festivals. There's a very infamous story of someone who was sitting in his front yard and he got hit by bullets. And after several investigations, it turned out to have come from a beach far off where someone just shot in the air. But there was this mathematical equation of how it must have hit him.
Velocity, all of that.
And it's like that. Like people are just innocently sitting wherever they may be, and then they get hit by stray bullet. Earlier, I used the expression of bullet straight. I'm not giving any, two-face. I'm not giving any stray bullets. And the reality is, these things are real. People don't even understand the meaning of stray. Stray is something that was not intended. Do you understand? The person who received it wasn't the focus. It just happened to be on that person. So I actually believe that at the end of the day, one, gun regulations should be more, they should be tighter. Two, there ought to be some kind of punishment when this happens.
Even has the shooter been identified? That's another thing. Has the investigation gone that far? Do we know who exactly made that shot? And has he been brought to book? Is another question. I remember a friend who just saw a hole in his car. This one happened 2 years ago. A hole in his Volvo. Goes over to the panel beater to get it fixed. Panel beater takes out the panel, and guess what we found? Right deposited inside of the door was a bullet. And he remembered only just passing through somewhere in Mushi and so where there was a police raid and everything and gunshots. And he was like, all by myself, my business, I'm not gonna. And then, so imagine if that had gotten into the car to him.
Or maybe hit the fuel tank or something like that.
Not that explosive. Physics, there's plenty of physics to that. It's not that explosive.
You know the craziest types of stray bullets? The ones that hit and you don't even know it.
Yeah, that happens as
You're on the road, you've been hit, but you don't know until someone says, okay, you're bleeding. And that's why it's often said that when you're shot, you should stay calm because the adrenaline is part of what accelerates the possibility of death. But then how do you stay calm when you've been shot? It's tough.
It's a sad story.
In terms of repercussions, I think the repercussions should be as heavy as if it was premeditated. I think it should be as stringent so that those who are given custody of those weapons would take it a lot more seriously. We've heard of people being stopped by police for car checks, what they call them, those random stop and search. And we've heard of them shooting at the feet of people like that. Yeah, we hear about things like that during stop and searches. If someone is being maybe aggressive or something like that, things like that should not be allowed to happen. And hopefully the right people are listening at this point.
Whoever has been affected by this in the past, and most recently the family of this young boy, I just pray that you find comfort. It's a very terrible thing to happen, and no amount of compensation can fix anything. Unfortunately, it's really
justice,
sad.
compensation,
justice,
family deserve it.
It's also very
important. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. We would love to hear your thoughts on this, your opinion on this as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And you're welcome. It's time to let you know what you'd find inside of the dailies when you pick up a paper this morning. Front page, the headlines. Let's see if we can review a few of these stories that you might meet. We're going to start from the Punch newspaper this morning. Very exciting headlines. Big one that meets you this morning is controversy over alleged resignation of APC chair Adamu. Adamu allegedly forced to resign 2 days before NEC meeting. Party spokesperson Mum. NWC member, others, sources divided over resignation. Kiari many chair NWC meeting. There'll be plenty of information as to that one eventually. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention that I do have the delectable Titi here with me who will be taking the other papers as I go. But back inside of the Punch newspaper here, the headline, IG withdraws mobile policemen from ex-governors and ministers' VIPs. This should go without saying, apparently. If it took that much time, then I'm wondering exactly why that was. NERC may OK tariff hike as electricity subsidy hits 2.8 trillion. So, Titi, let's talk about electricity now. Now, what have you experienced personally regarding electricity in your area?
So I have sort of noted a little less frequency of outages.
Okay.
So the outages possibly for about 3 to 4 hours a day at the maximum. Mostly when I'm not at home, so that's good for me. But of course, I think there is something happening now that's given a little bit more power to certain areas of Lagos. I know that this might not be the same for everywhere around Lagos, but I've also heard some interesting news about Abuja, a lot more power in Abuja now. I've also heard about Port Harcourt.
So with the power that you get now, do you think that it's fair to say that, okay, fine, let's have an increase in tariffs? Would you say?
I actually think...
Noting that you spend less on making your own power, well, I'm talking about people who still rely on generators. I actually think
now that a lot of people are spending less on fuel. When I say spending less, I'm not saying it's more affordable. I'm saying less on generator fuel because they're mostly using it for their cars now. I think they're probably going to shift that extra funding to electricity now that there's a little bit more power. So I think there's still a lot of people just observing the situation, trying to figure out how to balance their finances out. And eventually they'll be
we would also continue to observe. Final headline here I'll be taking from the Punch newspaper for today. Resists new scramble for Africa, Tinubu tells AU Forum. We had that in the news where the president was telling about the fact that, hey, don't pill for Africa. Don't let them pill for you. It's about time that we began to take charge of our own resources and be the ones to export all of these. Interesting headlines inside of the Punch newspaper. Maybe you should grab a copy. Let's move on now to the next daily, which do you have, Titi?
I have here the Nation newspaper, and it does also start with a story focused on the African Union meeting that happened yesterday. Now, Tinubu says Africa must be active to compete globally. Leaders pledge commitment to integration and cooperation, and of course, so much more. Now, the story starts there on the cover, wraps up on page 4. But there is quite a lot of information on the Nation about other stories as well. A petrol subsidy removal desirable, says APC Chair Adamu. President set to unveil security plan, says Shatima. A $50 million power plant to drive Lagos economy. It also says here APC's NEC meeting holds Wednesday. Violence forces Olubadan to suspend Egungun Festival. Service chiefs face reps panel. Now, the issue of Africa competing globally and the headline in the former paper. I think it was the
about the AU and the president asking that we take charge. I'll tell you one thing. This is possible, but many have argued that it will only be possible or best possible if we had a united African currency. Plenty of talk about this over the weekend, especially amongst my friends who are very economically inclined, and they talked about the fact that this could have been possible from long ago with Gaddafi. Very strange. But he actually had the intention to unite the African nations so that we can compete monetarily with other nations, like the denominations of other nations, the currencies of other nations, like the yuan or the dollar or the pound.
So you know where there's a question on that because of the in quote colonials that eventually have left most of Africa now. A lot of French-speaking countries, a lot of English-speaking countries, some Portuguese.
So there's a lot of division.
So
already.
yes, there was already a lot of division. So if they are still working along those lines, the Mediterranean countries still wanted to have some sort of hold on them. But if I would have thought it would have been a West African country currency or South African currency, an East African currency. I think that is more possible than unifying the whole of Africa.
Let's see if we can get your suggestions across. Let's move on now to the Vanguard newspaper for this morning. Subsidy removal. FG targets two-pronged relief for workers to provide palliatives, pay 200,000 naira minimum wage, that would be likable, and to empower states to pay new wages. Plenty of talk on that one as well regarding what kind of palliatives or subsidy that could come after the subsidy removal. There's still more on the Vanguard at the top here. Insurgency military might alone can't solve crisis in Northeast, says the VP Shatima, and Tinubu affirms Africa's unity once against new scramble for continent. We saw that in past papers. Illegal farmers charge. Lawyers, activists demand Emefiele's immediate release. He's been asked to be released if they are not going to charge currently. And also, let's see, to the side of the Vanguard newspaper, adulterated aviation fuel floods Lagos, Kano, and Abuja. And 8,000 naira, too small to ease pains of fuel subsidy removal. That was also hard on people's thoughts. I
was thinking about the aviation fuel. There is an airline, I won't mention the name now, that has been grounded because apparently, now this is from the grapevine, not actually official news, that the fuel was adulterated with water. You imagine how terrible it is for a fleet of planes to have water in their tanks. It does feel, in my opinion, like something that has to do with sabotage. I'm just saying. Well, but it's crazy. If you can't get a handle on aviation fuel, that is a safety issue. It's a national security issue, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let's move on now to The Guardian, shall we? Guardian's got this big headline here. Decongesting Lagos ports. Cash crunch investors' apathy saw $8.5 billion deep sea port projects. At the top of The Guardian, Tinubu Ruto call for financially autonomous AU reject fresh scramble for Africa. On all the papers, this one. APC neck anxiety over resignation of Abdullahi and Adamu. At the bottom of The Guardian, why president must avoid illegal tenure extension for public officers. And Serap urges National Assembly to drop plan for 110 billion naira bulletproof cars and others. Should we be spending on that much for at this time? Well, plenty of arguments regarding that or where to channel these monies. Yeah. But those are the headlines inside of The Guardian. Do you want to touch on any real quick?
I was just looking at the price of cement. We talked a bit about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
I can still remember buying cement for about 900 naira. This is probably like 50.
And this is 6,000 naira?
6,000 naira now. I just have a question. Is it the same price that cement is being sold in Nigeria that is being sold in other West African countries? Just have a question on that. Maybe someone can answer that one. Haulage costs, getting it from A to B within Nigeria probably is contributing to the cost of cement at this point.
Well,
but there might be other factors as well.
As much as we can take for the headlines now, isn't it, Titi?
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you for joining us. At least now you know which one to get and what to read this morning when you head out to perhaps maybe go about your daily activities.
Welcome to the kitchen. You know what's exciting about today? Because we have April in July. Yeah, because Chef April is right here, and she'll be making us breakfast this morning. How you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm Pearl. Thank you.
Good morning. You're so cute.
Thank you.
Okay, so what are we having for breakfast?
Okay, so for breakfast, we're having a simple chicken patty burger.
Chicken patty burger.
Yes.
Every time I hear patty, I think of SpongeBob. I can't help myself. Like, I really can't. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients and run us through the process.
Okay, so first we have our buns here. So burger is just protein and some vegetables encased in a bun called burger bun. So we have our bun here. And we have our minced chicken. So this has been seasoned and spiced. We have lettuce, cucumber, tomatoes, lemon and onions. And we have some other ingredients that I'll be using to make our sauce, the condiments that is going to be going in between the layers of the burger.
Okay, so what are these ingredients? I see sugar here.
We have sugar, mayonnaise, black pepper, and ketchup.
Okay, and then the oil is for the patty?
Yes,
okay.
So we can just fry the patty.
So I'm just going to hope that I can conjure up fries, because burger and fries can be amazing. But just in case the fries don't turn up, we're still going to enjoy the burger, right?
Sure.
Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
What's the first thing we're doing?
So the first thing we want to do is get our stovetop heating, and then we'll make the patty. Since I already seasoned the chicken, we wouldn't need to do too much. We just add a little bit of salt.
So now, talking about seasoning the chicken, how did you come about this?
Okay, so you can easily buy minced chicken in your grocery store, but I prefer to just buy my frozen chicken and mince it myself.
So how do you
mince it? In here, I have habanero pepper.
Okay.
I have some salt, ginger, garlic, and all of that. So
for how long have you had this sitting?
Just since last night. Just leave it, so it could marinate properly and have all the flavors infused into
So how do you mince it? Do you use a machine?
You use a food processor. As a meat grinder, you could use your blender, you could use your food processor. Just make sure it is boneless and has no tendon in it. If not, it could break your blade.
Ah, so the tendon is what breaks the blade sometimes.
Yes, tendon of the bone.
Okay, so here as it is, we're going to put this all together at the end of the show, okay? So the reason she talked about these ingredients is because all of these will be used to make the sauce, which of course will be placed on the bread before we put everything together. So we have this patty, it's about to fry now. If you don't know how patties are made, they're actually very simple. So let's see you do it for us.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is have your oil heating, and I'd like to use my hand so that I can mold it to the shape I want, and I just have a little bit of oil so that it doesn't stick to the hand, and then just scoop some part of it. They never showed this in SpongeBob anyways. So you just
No, we just used to see SpongeBob flipping
exactly
the patty.
Just scoop it to the shape you want, and then just place it in your
Mr. Crab's secret spice cannot be told. Don't you get it? So they won't tell us the process. So we do not know what the secret spice is.
No, they definitely won't.
Yeah. So we understand.
It's just
don't mind.
Easy and straightforward. It's very, very similar to making meatballs. The only difference is that when making meatballs, it's rounder and it's beef. Yeah. But this is chicken patty, so you want it to be flat and not exactly rounded.
Your mention of meatballs, beef. Have you ever tried making meatballs with chicken?
You can, but you know...
As in, the both was very loud, I know, right? Okay, but...
You can make meatballs with chicken, but it's called meatballs. It's not called chicken balls.
Okay, let's make chicken balls. Is it possible to make chicken balls?
Yes, it's possible. The only difference is you don't use shallow oil to fry your meatballs or chicken balls. Yeah. You use deep oil because of how rounded it is. So in order for the heat to be able to penetrate the middle, you need more oil than this. But you can see I'm using just very little oil to just do the frying.
Okay, and this is meat that has not been boiled. You know, we Nigerians, if we're Africans, we don't do rare or medium rare.
No.
We do
to be cooked, sure. To be cooked, you just need this to cook for about... Chicken cooks fast.
Yes, it does.
Right? So you need it to cook for about, say, 5 minutes on each side. Okay. That's 10 minutes max or less.
We still have Chef April in July making us breakfast this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. The patty is right there, and as you can see, it's coming along nicely. Now, besides the patty, we're also going to make the sauce right now, right? Okay, so let's get started making the sauce. What's the first thing we need to do?
Okay, so I like to call this my signature sauce because buying mayo, I found out that it had this bland taste. It wasn't as tangy as I wanted, so I added some, just tweaked it to my preference.
Okay.
So in this bowl, I have mayo, and I'm going to be adding some sugar. I'm sorry, I'm a sweet tooth.
Okay. I'm just curious though. For people who I honestly didn't see that coming.
I see something sweet going down here.
For people who do not like sugar, can you replace that with honey?
Yes, you can replace it with honey, but honey has a signature taste. So if you don't mind the taste, if you don't mind the flavor, by all means, you can replace it. You can also use date syrup. I know that's what's trending now. You can use maple syrup. You can use stevia. Stevia is a sweet leaf, a sweet herb. So you can use that.
Is that lemon juice?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
So in here, I have mayonnaise, oil, sugar, black pepper, and lemon juice is just going to give it that sour taste that I like. I mean, it's going to be very, very similar to
Just to
salad
add some
cream.
acid to it.
Yes.
Yeah. So the reason she actually has her handles like this is because she's trying as much as possible to strain the seeds from the juice.
Yes.
So only the juice goes into the mixture. Okay. So in case you're wondering why it's that way.
Okay, and finally,
now
I'm just going to add a little bit of ketchup.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Yes, just a little because ketchup is still going in the bun.
Oh,
So you don't want the ketchup flavor to overshadow every other condiment.
Because if I'm making this, I'm more likely to use this amount of ketchup and a little bit of mayo.
So is it possible for you to go over those ingredients in that mix one more time?
Okay, so we have mayo, oil, sugar, black pepper, ketchup, and lemon juice.
Beautiful.
Okay. So black pepper, is it,
It's just for heat.
okay.
Yes, just for heat.
I love the flavor black pepper
It's okay,
gives.
Esuma.
No!
Should I put everything?
This
No,
is
no.
Cameroon pepper, not just black pepper, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, Cameroon pepper. That's the yellow type.
You just reminded me of something that was trending last week.
What?
About how Nigerians take over everything.
Really?
Yes.
How?
So you missed it.
How?
Swaley tweeted about Amapiano with the Nigerian flag.
Okay,
And the
okay.
Nigerians were trying to own it as South Africans were trying to let the world know that Amapiano is their sound. So what made me remember was this Cameroon pepper. And how some Nigerians now call it Ghana pepper.
Really?
Like, seriously.
No.
We took jollof from Senegal and Gambia.
Okay.
Now we are trying to take pepper from Cameroon again. Like,
Goodness me.
what don't we take?
But this looks and smells
Yeah,
amazing.
that's the patty coming
Ooh.
out. And we're actually almost all done with the patty.
Yes.
We're almost all done with it. So just,
Sorry. So that is the patty right there, the mix.
Yes.
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
great, great, great,
So
great.
can you run us through what we
almost lost
inside
one.
the patty?
So it's just minced chicken with pepper just for heat, salt, ginger, and garlic for spice, and then seasoning cube.
All right. Did you
Then
marinate for a
if you
period
want
of time?
to, yes, I marinated overnight. If you want to, there are some chicken who are good binders, but there are some who aren't. So if you want it to bind properly, add some egg, but I didn't have to add egg into this.
Okay.
So if you want it to bind properly,
was a
to
good
hold
binder.
its form, yes,
Yeah.
add good binder. For it to hold its form, you add some egg.
Is this soft chicken, Nigerian chicken, or Orobo chicken? Or
It's horrible.
Orobo?
Yes, horrible makes perfect binders because
Are
of
you
their
serious?
yes, because of their high level of fat.
It's a good thing I
Yes.
asked, because most of us just go for soft chicken no matter what we're doing.
Soft chicken has lost most of its fat, so it doesn't make good binders. Yeah, that's why you don't cook them on high heat for a long period of time. I'm just caramelizing the onions.
I was about to say that. What are you doing with the onions? We are used to fresh onions in our burger.
I'm caramelizing it because some people don't like that
The
strong
harsh
Yes.
heat of the onion.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as it is, burger is almost good enough to put together.
Yeah.
As we're trying as much as possible to finish up the cooking, please stay with us because you're watching Wake Up Nigeria and we're done with the first hour. We'll be back on the other side of the hour. All right?
Yeah.
Now, absolutely refreshing is the way to describe the hour that's just gone by, which you missed out if you're only just joining us. But hey, you're still welcome to join us for the next hour, which is going to be fantastic, exciting family breakfast for you guys. Welcome to hour number 2 for a Monday. Thank you.
The show is Wake Up Nigeria. The anchors are marvelous. The chefs are extremely adequate and awesome. And of course the food, my stomach is rumbling already.
You got me touching my stomach too.
Yeah, really.
That was just so natural.
Yeah, honestly. We are going to have an amazing array today, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Time is ticking, of course, and we are on the clock. 45 minutes to go. We've got the best for you guys. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah.
Now, Mary, I hear that it's going to be some burgers for breakfast this morning. How many is the question? Because it has to go around, and I'm not sharing. As you all know, I'm the Burger King.
Wow.
Mary?
You are feeling very happy with yourself. You should have asked, are you getting some in the first place? Like, you're talking about not sharing. Are you joking?
Let me ask. Mary, will there be enough for you?
So if you're talking about enough for me, burgers are never enough for me. So I could manage this to manage. Yeah. But really though, we will definitely have a hearty breakfast. Fingers crossed.
You know, there's this competition they have, I think it's in the US, where how many burgers can you eat at one sitting?
Contest.
Oh, goodness me. I feel like a cookie monster in this instance, like thinking how to stuff my face with burgers. But yeah, we'll be talking a bit about that later on. My name is Titila Oyinso,
the Burger Monster, and my name is Mazina Peel. You want to remember that you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria across all our social media platforms, every single one of them, to be a part of this big breakfast show.
You can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world. Our mobile app is available for you to download for Google Play and iOS.
GOTV, it's channel 16, UHF 49, that's the band if you want to see us in either of the two. And we also please ask you guys if you follow us on social media already. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, everything at TVC Connect. It's that simple. Line up, please.
Hero Lion is going to be here.
Leon. Yes, Hero Leon.
Hero Leon. All right, Hero Leon is going to be here. He's a gospel rap artist, and he has honed his skills to sound, and his sound, of course, to make him really, really great. Now, he has an amazing performance prepped for us, and we can't wait to see it.
Gabriel Balogun is in the house. He is a dedicated advocate for transforming learning and development into a strategic business driver, leveraging a powerful combination of strategy, technology, people, and content. He will be talking about building teams for high performance.
Comfort Esuma is the CEO and founder of Excel Jewelry, a successful jewelry entrepreneur with over 20 years experience in fashion. She's going to be sharing all her defining moments as a business owner with us right here in the loft.
Good one.
Yeah.
Coming off of Sunday, which was only just yesterday, there was a very interesting sermon that was given at a church where Pastor Kumuyi was presiding. And it was put up on Twitter, and it had so many responses. It went thus: if you are an unrepentant sinner and you give tithes to church, please stop giving because God does not need your money. To which one very interesting respondent said, whew, that's a relief.
Wow.
That's a very proud, unrepentant sinner.
But then again, times are hard, and I'm wondering whether pastors or places of worship are still mandating, and I use that deliberately, congregations to pay tithes. With the removal of fuel subsidy, we're all struggling with what we have. Do you think it's fair to say, or if anyone chooses not to? It's not a question I can ask. Yeah,
So,
I
grew up in the Catholic Church, and I'm still a Catholic. And I remember things have actually changed. When I was younger, you barely hear talks of tithe. Like, it wasn't as much in your face as it is now.
But it was the standard, though. Right?
You're encouraged. You are
exactly.
encouraged. You're not mandated.
Okay, sure.
But over the years, they realized that many young people went out of the church, believing that, the reason their prayers are being answered is because of payment of tithes and all. So it started becoming a case, okay, pay your tithe, make sure you pay your tithe so you can. Yeah, but I still struggle with it. With the not with the payment, but with people being mandated to do something that they really do not want to do.
Bring it into the situation now with the removal of fuel subsidy and the electricity hike on tariffs and everything that we're going through in Nigeria. Do you think that it's
I actually think there is a place for people who do good and take their 10% and give it back to the poor. I think there is a place where they give it to charity drives, motherless babies' homes.
Or it's necessary.
They do things for people in their space. And in my opinion, that is the same as giving to the church. That's just me. But there are a lot of churches now that have special drives, special charity organizations within the church where they give back. I know of a particular church that gives medical supplies, supports schools, feeds people every weekend, every Sunday. You know, so if you know your place of worship is one that does give back, you probably feel a little more relaxed giving your tithe.
Because that's the purpose of the tithe, actually. It's supposed to ensure that those who do not have enough are able to at least tap into the blessings of God. As a matter of fact, in the Catholic Church, we even have a unit called St. Vincent de Paul. It's a society in which the poor are helped. And it's not just Catholics. Muslims, even non-religious and all, they get help. Credible help, medical help, business help. Amazing stuff really going on with St. Vincent de Paul. If you have access to it, especially if you're Catholic, you should do more in supporting them.
So I wouldn't want you to see it as if you're paying the church a salary or paying the church a stipend. No. If you know that the religious space you're in gives back. Like I know in our church, we even have a prison ministry where people are given legal aid to even defend their cases. You know, you have to know what you are
money is
giving
being used for.
I didn't know you guys were so interested in this topic. Maybe we should discuss this on the coffee table. So, back second hour here. My name is Mazino Appeal. Let's do the news. Now, the federal government says it is drawing up modalities that would end insecurity in the country. Vice President Kashim Shatima disclosed this when he paid a visit to Kano State, northwest Nigeria. TVC News correspondent Ibrahim Issa reports.
Nigeria has experienced widespread insecurity for a long time, with different regions of the nation experiencing their fair share. Vices like terrorism, banditry and kidnapping plague the northeast and northwest. Vice President Kashim Shatima is paying his first official visit to Kano State. It is an opportunity to express the commitment of the federal government in ensuring insecurity is mitigated through Pulaku.
Unless we want to engage in an endless war of attrition, there cannot be a military solution to the crisis in the Northwest. There has to be a kinetic and non-kinetic solution. And President Bola Tinubu, in the next couple of weeks, will unveil the Pulaku solution.
Pulaku is a long-held traditional value or attribute of the Fulani. It means that the Fulani should not engage in anything that will reduce his status or that will bring shame on him or his family. It says the Fulani should be simple in whatever he does. He should avoid arrogance and all other negative attitudes. The Vice President assures that citizens will enjoy modern governance through numerous poverty alleviation initiatives.
The President is determined to redefine the meaning and concept of modern governance. And the crisis we have in the Northwest, further accentuated by poverty and social exclusion, is something that the President is determined to frontally confront.
Vice President Kashim Shatima was in Kano to pay condolences. He also paid homage to the Emir of Bichi, Nasir Bayero, and the Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf. Ibrahim Issa, TVC News, Kano.
Now, as Nigeria strives for food security, some secondary school students in Lagos State have invented creative ways of handling everyday problems. They unveiled their invention at the Sail Innovation Lab in Lagos, an initiative of the senator representing Lagos Senatorial East District, Tokunbo Abiru. There is more in this report here.
These are some of the inventions by young secondary school students. They are in response to the quest for innovative ways of handling complex problems.
This device is going to assist farmers.
The projects demonstrate how much the students have learned from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM training at the Senator Abiru Innovation Lab in Lagos.
It has impacted me a lot, has had me think from critical thinking to problem solving, looking for a problem in your environment and all of that. And to be honest, it has been a blessing also.
I learned how to use sensors like PRL sensor, ultrasonic sensor, piezo sensor, force sensor, different types of sensors that I can use in what we've learned, the physical computing, the ability to use code and then transfer them to real life objects so that they can work.
Participants drawn from secondary schools in Lagos East Senatorial District learned tech, digital skills, which are the currency of the present fourth industrial revolution age. Parents and guardians appreciated the gesture, urging more investment in ICT to boost national development.
When my daughter came to me and said there's a program of this nature that they were going to be a part of it, she wanted to be a part of it. I told her, well, you are from Delta State and your name is a betrayer. So I said, would they accept you? But then, before we knew it, she was accepted.
Listening to how these kids are providing solution to the immediate problems we are having. Let's take, for instance, the gadgets they produce to cushion the effects of the insecurity. No, I was amazed.
The visionary urged the graduating students to deepen their quest for knowledge by devoting time for studies and research, particularly in STEM education.
To the graduating class, as you move forward, to me, right, this is just the starting point. You are young minds, you have to open your minds to continuous education and training. The solutions that we are looking for this country is in our hands and is in your hands.
With immediate effect.
Following President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on food security in Nigeria, it is hoped that innovations like these will not only boost food availability and affordability, but job creation in the agricultural sector.
Good to see young people doing good, especially when it comes to innovation. That's all we have for the news this morning here. Thank you very much for joining us. Do stay tuned. We've got more inside the rest of Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. On the couch with us right now is Mr. Gabriel Balogun. Now, he is a dedicated advocate for transforming learning and development into strategic business drivers, leveraging on powerful combination of strategy, technology, people, and content. Today, we're talking about building teams for high performance. It's great for you to be back with us. Welcome back.
Super excited to be on the show again. Thank you for having me.
All right. So a lot of us work with teams, either as just a member of the team or a leader of a team. And I feel like the topic sort of points a little towards the leadership of such teams right now. High-performing teams, what do they actually possess? What are those traits they possess?
Very, 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 very intelligent question. I'd like to begin by saying that performance is more behavioral driven than skill driven. All right, so there are behaviors that create high performance. Grit is one of them, adaptability, resilience, those kind of behaviors, all right? And to answer your question, there are three things that characterize an high-performing team or a high-performing team. The first one is they consistently deliver exceptional results, not just results. Okay. So 10 out of 10, they will deliver results.
Okay.
But 9 out of those 10 results would be exceptional.
9 out of 10?
10 will be exceptional.
Okay. All right.
All right. So they either deliver before the deadline or they deliver beyond what you bargained for. All right. Okay. The second characteristic is that they exhibit strong communication and collaboration skill.
Okay. So they know how to work with others?
Perfectly. Okay. They are so much in sync that even when you take one person out, it still flows.
They can fall into place.
Yes. Then the third thing is they possess, I like to say they possess a shared sense of purpose. So they are not on the job for just the pay. They are not part of the team because of the benefits. They're part of it because they see every other person has a part of their journey. Okay. And so they feel strong attachments to every part of the team. A typical example, a popular example would be SWAT teams or Navy SEALs or the Marines. You know, no matter how difficult the situation is, if SWAT shows up, 9 out of 10, they get it sorted out.
Sure.
So those are the characteristics of high-performing teams. Let's go
back into this military terms aspect now. So if, for instance, a leader of a military team is on the battlefield, and then for some reason their leader is taken out or is unable to perform, it immediately just goes on to the next person in the chain of command.
Yes.
And the person performs all the duties that their leader would have been performing, no matter what.
No matter what.
But I feel like it's very rare to find those kinds of high-performing team members. So we've mentioned some of the traits already of high-performing teams, but in each team, how many of these people can you really say are high-performing, and what should we be looking for to add to our teams?
So I think that to build an high-performing team, one, you need to recruit people that know how to get stuff done.
Okay.
So everything is figure-outable, like somebody once said.
Yeah.
So anybody with that mindset would always know how to figure things out. And that's a plus. Remember that high performance is behavioral, not necessarily skill. So if they don't have the skill, they have the attitude. So they find somebody with the skill, or they leverage somebody with the skill to get it done.
Okay.
The second thing is they need to, you as the leader have to define what the purpose of the team is for. Okay. So if you work in the ICU units in the medical field, you know that you are consistently on standby for emergencies. So the purpose of that team is defined. Miles Moran said, if you do not, the purpose of a team is not defined, abuse is inevitable. So if you understand why you are in the team, then it gives you, it makes that team super ready to get stuff done.
Okay.
Then the third thing would be to set expectations. So if I am the lead of the team, I am consciously building my second in command, my third in command, my fourth in command. So that when I am on leave or I'm not available, there is somebody on the team that I can say, dude, pick this up. Or I need to diversify and I cannot do it alone. I can say, you man this place, you man that place, and that on. So the secret ingredient is the desire to grow, the desire to get stuff done. That really is how so you have to build that into all your teams.
So if, for instance, you are team lead, or let's say a senior lead, you're at the top, and you have maybe just a deputy that isn't so high-performing and probably doesn't show that zeal, is your advice to build on the person immediately beneath that person, or to replace the person that's right after you?
There's a sentimental answer and there's the right answer. Business is war. And the moment you understand that business is war, you have to put sentiments aside. And this is what usually happens in organization. There can be somebody that have been in the team for 10 years, for 5 years, but the person is not high performing. There's someone that just joined straight out of NYSC, super sharp, ready to run.
Yeah.
The wisdom is to peer them first. And not just immediately discard the other person. Because don't forget, the older person on the team has the buy-in of every other person on the team.
Sure.
So you have to peer them and say, okay, I am the team lead, but I have 2 deputies or 3 deputies. You are responsible for ensuring everybody comes to work early.
Yeah.
You are responsible for ensuring that if it's a virtual call, everybody's video is turned on. You are responsible for ensuring nobody misses the meeting. Okay. You have to create a chain of command across everybody on the team so that one person doesn't feel if Oga is not around, then I'm the next best thing. Okay. So everybody knows that we are all deputizing for Oga.
All right.
And then when Oga is leaving, everybody knows that it depends on who Oga chooses. It's not immediate that because I've been here longer, it's me.
All right. And now I know that we've struck a nerve with quite a few people that are watching right now, and they're probably asking themselves who on their team are the highest performing drivers of that team, and how can they balance things out to make the team a little bit more high performing in the next quarter. I have to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Gabriel,
for having me again.
For coming to talk to us once again.
Every bit.
So, what's your opinion on what you just heard? Give us your thoughts. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We have a quick break coming your way, and we'll be back.
Time for SME on Wake Up Nigeria. Today, our guest is Comfort Edosoma. She is the CEO and founder of Excel Jewelry, a successful jewelry entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in fashion. And she'll be sharing with us all of her defining moments as a business owner. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, myself.
Fantastic. So when we talk jewelry, people look at jewelry as, okay, stuff you can get just about anywhere. And so when someone says, oh, this is what I do as a business, they're wondering, what trajectory are you doing it as? Is it as a retailer or a wholesaler? Which are you?
I'm a wholesaler.
Oh, okay, okay. So when you say wholesaler, most wholesalers for jewelry are found on the island. Is that where your store is also located?
No, mine is the mainland, yeah. Because while growing up, my parents used to do jewelry. Then it was this beads that was in vogue. So I love fashion.
Obviously.
I love fashion, yeah.
And so you started with your love for fashion?
Yes.
Okay, so at what point in your passion for fashion did you segue into jewelry? Was it from the very beginning, or you started with clothing? How did it all begin?
I started with clothing.
Okay.
Clothing, then and I delved into the jewelry part of it. Okay. Now, not the beads as regular one, but now with this too, costumes and the normal jewelries.
Now, one of the big challenges of, or rather the biggest challenges, I dare say, of jewelry sellers is defining or getting to identify the fake from the original, or the ones that are of low quality from the ones that are of high quality, because not all originals are actually original. It's just a case of high quality. How do you maneuver this?
Well, for me, my challenge first was to identify it first, because we have a lot of fake. And if you don't know, you go and buy the fake, thinking it's the original.
Yes.
So after passing that stage, you need to know that, okay, this is the fake, this is the original. Then you need to categorize it, which stage it will be like. Are you going to sell it this amount?
Okay.
Because as a jeweler, you need to know what you're putting out for your customers. Because if you give your customers the same amount for the fake as the original, you won't get more customers. You need to know it will also spoil your market and give you bad names too.
Ah, so marking up the price for the original is also essential.
Yes.
Even if it can go for the same price as the fake.
But most people do it. But for me, I don't do it, because I have some customers that come out and say, your jewelry is good. It's not as the usual. That they will say, this one is the original one, but at the end of the day, if I just put it 1 day or 2 days, it's just fade out. So you must know the original, so as not to spoil your markets for your customers.
Okay, let's talk about original. I can imagine so many people love jewelry, watching now, wondering, okay, how do you identify the original? And I know for sure that jewelry has grade. There are different types of grade when you're buying jewelry. And of course, there are also different types of jewelry, the make. We have Italian gold.
Yes.
We have original stainless steel. We have, so many things that are actually long-lasting. How can you tell this, and which ones do you usually recommend?
For me, I recommend the Brazil, the other ones, because normally you have these bracelets or costumes. You can't compare costumes, the gold, to the other part of it. The costumes ones, you could wear it, it's normal, like what we put on, like the whites they put on. It's not too fadey. But this Brazil, the gold, those ones, they're the ones that are original. But you know, like I said before, they have fake under that name.
Okay.
But when you go to the markets, the sellers will tell you, this is the original one.
Okay.
This is second to it. Which one do you want? The original one is, you know, it's high.
Pricier,
yeah. But they will show you the other ones that are not that high. So it depends on what you have in your market. If your customer says, I don't want the higher one, just give me the one I can just work with.
Okay.
So you could know what to get.
Okay, so for you to get the good grades, it depends on your pocket,
yes.
so to speak.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about pricing, but first, let's take a look at this jewelry here. They look really nice. Let's start from this. What type of make is this? Is this gold? Is it just costume? Tell me about it.
This is not gold.
Okay.
This is the Brazilian parts.
This is Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that other one is the costume.
Okay.
The
so
one on
this
the floor,
one
this
is
costume.
Yes.
This is pure steel.
Okay.
It lasts like this one, this other one here.
Okay.
Yes.
So this other one here is costume as well.
Yes.
Okay, so this is costume.
Yes.
This is Brazilian.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is stainless steel, you
Yeah.
said.
Yes.
Okay. So all of these are stainless steel.
Yes.
Okay, so if I wanted to buy this, how much will it cost?
This one will cost you 550.
550.
5,500.
5,500. Okay, what about this one?
Both. All the
Both of them,
sets. Yes.
5,500.
Yes.
Okay, that's for the stainless steel.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this.
The same price with this.
Same price
This one's on the pack.
Okay.
Mm.
So how have you been managing with the economy? You know why I'm asking?
Mm.
So I feel like I've done all kinds of businesses.
Okay.
There was a time I was actually selling this, and I recall that the sets, this was years ago, the sets was, should I say how much? The set was 500 naira
Okay.
then. And so it was being sold for about 1,500,
Okay.
2,000, depending on the kind of customers you have. And I know quite well that these prices have actually risen over the years.
Yes.
How are you able to still hold on to your customers despite the fluctuating prices? And how are you breaking even?
Well, for me, I have a database of customers. So when they know what you're selling that is original, and they know how the markets rise up and fall down, they'll come to you.
Okay.
Because you have many jewelry people now. And again, these ones now, they want to put their market up.
To make more money.
To make more money.
Even without
But because they know my customers know me, they know what I sell, they will still come back and tell you that I want this. And me, I just don't sell jewelries alone, just selling. I have the passion of it, of selling. So for my jewelries, I have different types of customers that come to me. I have the stay-at-home mother that, you know, some people, because of the family you come from, the husband will want to say, okay, don't do anything, just stay at home.
Stay at home, yeah.
So I have package for such ones.
Okay.
They use this as side attraction.
Side hustle.
I also have package for students.
Wow.
So even if the economy is getting high, you can find something to do with it. For students, we could give you jewelries from 20 to 40,000. And for me personally, I don't know about other jewelry, I do this for students, that as you're coming in, I can give you jewelry for 20,000 naira. You go and sell,
And then you
take your profits, and give me back my...
More like dropshipping,
Yes.
except that they have the product.
Yes.
You know, I'm actually happy you mentioned students and even stay-at-home moms that are looking to start up a side hustle, so to speak.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a young person who is looking at this and is like, this would be a nice side hustle. This would be a nice main hustle, even like a serious business I can go into. What advice would you give such a person?
Well, I'll just tell them to keep on struggling. Don't mind if the economy is making the jewelry high or low. Just keep on struggling. You know, our business is all about consistency. If you continue struggling and having what is in vogue, the main point is that what you're selling is what is in vogue. And you try to put it out to the public there. They will come and buy. Need you know that if you are selling jewelry, you should look at what is original and what is known.
No, serious.
So if a customer is coming, this is not the original one, this is the original one, and this is the amount. Customers love sincerity. And when they buy it and it's good for them, they check other jewelers and they say, this woman's one is better. They want to come. So I will advise students, I will advise stay-at-home mom to continue.
To hustle, to not give up. Just keep trying.
Yes.
Keep trying to make sense
Yes.
of it. Okay, thank you so much for your time, Comfort Esuma. Thank you indeed for your time. It's been quite interesting, quite interesting. Okay, at this point, we're going to take Comfort to the kitchen for breakfast. Yes, a breakfast of burgers from Chef April in July. All right, let's head to the kitchen. Yes, we're in the kitchen now. Yeah. Welcome to the kitchen, Comfort. It's time for us to serve you breakfast. And breakfast today is by Chef April.
Yes, so
I can't resist in July. So she's made, tell us what you've made.
Okay, so we made chicken burger today. Ooh. And we try as much as possible to make it healthy. So it's filled with vegetables and a very juicy meat patty. On the side, you have fried chips and just ketchup for it.
Wait, I conjured the chips up. I did say that we should have chips with it.
Burger and fries.
And Chef April made us have chips after all. In fact, take a high five. Thank you.
Please have a bite. Have a bite and tell us what you think.
It's going to be a very big bite, that one.
Oh, okay. She's gone for the fries. She's gone for the fries.
Smart one. Irish.
We need you to take a bite out of the burger. You have to, please.
I need to enjoy this.
You want to enjoy it?
I love chips.
She enjoys the chips better. Well, it's all good.
So I'm just going to help you with this in case you want to cut it. In case it's a case of, you don't want, I'm deliberately saying in case it's a case of, you don't want to carry everything.
Exactly.
So yes, help
Take
yourself
from
to
the inside. Exactly.
Yes, that kind of thing. Yeah, so let's see.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That looks so juicy.
My goodness.
Chef April.
The vegetables look amazing.
Is the jewelry on her hand me I'm looking at too? All right then.
So what's it taste like? You need no words, we can see it already.
I will take this home.
Thank you so much. Delicious. Thank you indeed.
A marvelous way to start our Monday right here on Wake Up Nigeria. It's been fun with y'all today. We're going to be back again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. everybody. See you then.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.